Knoxville, Nashville. They're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses, a man and machine. They're full wide, green flag, showtime, the Knoxville Nationals are green.
All right, sorry about that, folks. As we get set to rock and roll here from Knoxville tonight, we're running here the Blake Blocks 358s. So starting off with just the 358s right now, then we'll move on to the big blocks here in a little while as we'll take a good look here at the standings. Let's see if we can get them up for you here. Up here, so I kind of relay what's going on here. Standings. We're at the Thursday night 358. We have Samuel Bachman in the lead with 584 points. Trevor Giroux there in second with 560 points. Anthony Milano in third with 521 points. Mike Brewer in fourth with 498 points. And then Kelly Wheeler with 494 points. So going to come down pretty closely there towards the bottom edge of that grid. But we'll see how after tonight's race this all stacks up. As they head on down through here, you'll see them here finishing up practice here as they'll get ready to qualify here in just a few moments. We got 99 of Glenn Sharp out there. Harold Klump out in 11th. In that number 2 machine. Riom going back out on track, try to get some more laps here. Mike Brewer out there as well. Sam Bachman, as we said, is our points leader. See how well he completes here after tonight. I think I've been watching Sam struggle a little bit here, trying to get that car to rotate enough for him. Mike Brewer there in second. Scott Riom here in fifth, or fifth fastest, I should say, in practice. And at 4:44. These drivers doing what they can here, just to get the feel of the cars before we start here tonight. I believe next week is the last race of the season, if I'm thinking correct, as we go a 12-week season, I think. Let me check the schedule. That'll tell me for sure. Let me check that schedule real fast as we're getting into qualifying. Oh, no, 13 weeks. Okay, so 13 weeks. And down through here, there you see the 213 of Michael Vitale. He's coming out there trying to get some momentum build up. There's Randall Dixon in at 011. He as well is trying to get something to happen. There we go. Brandon Templeton lays down your first time with a 19.507, and now they're coming in a little quicker as you got Harold Klump out there with a 4.97. Michael Vitale laying down a 4.13. I'm just jumping in all over the place here. They all come out qualifying. You got that 0111 there. You got Michael Vitale currently in the lead right now with a 19.413. Dean Reynolds with a 19.447. Scott Riom with a 19.479. Randall Dixon, what a good run for him there, getting himself into fourth right now with a 19.487. I'm going to try to keep myself hydrated here enough because I don't know what's going on. Sinuses are giving me issues here tonight. All right, here we go. Heat number one, gridding up. At heat number one, Joseph Grundy out there in front. Brian Dickens there second. Randall Dixon third. Michael Vitale fourth. Sam Bachman fifth with Jeff Barker sixth. Mike Brewer comes out there in seventh with John Dubai there in eighth. Glenn Sharp in ninth. And Michael Todd will roll up in 10th. That is your starting grid for heat number one as we get ready to roll off here. You see them all lined up there. I think we're missing two, Glenn Sharp and Michael Todd. It does not look like they took the grid. Forgive me, folks, I'm going to do the best I can here tonight to try to keep these numbers straight. My eyes are acting up something fierce today. Crisscrossing and bouncing all over the dang place. So we're going to do the best we can here at Figure Farm TV tonight. Work through this and bring you the best show we can. 8 laps the distance here for heat number 1. As we come here off of turn number 3 and 4. Heading towards that start-finish line. Pace car pulling off. Or do I got myself turned? I got myself turned around. They're coming out of 2, not 4. So I have myself turned around. As many of you know, here at Blinker Farm TV is a very common factor where I get myself all spun around here at these tracks as they work here off the 4 now. Getting ready to take that green, and down they go on that loud pedal down here in the corner number 1. Randall Dixon doing a little bit of a shake there coming on the start. Ends up there almost 3 wide there with Vitale to his outside as it worked down there through off the back stretch. Joseph Grundy out front, Brian Dickens right there in that 122, right there on his bumper. And right there behind him is Michael Vitale. And Randall Dixon holding strong down there on the inside. And they roll down here in the corner number 1. Here comes Sam Bachman, though. He's looking down there below Randall Dixon down there through the back stretch. In the corner number 3 they go. Brian Dickens up here in second as he looks to the inside. Cannot quite get there as of yet. As they roll through here, 7 laps to go here in heat number 1. Now it's 6 laps to go. Down here in the corner number 1 they go. Michael Vitale there in third. Randall Dixon there fourth. Sam Bachman back here in fifth, and he's got to his outside Jeff Barker. Jeff Barker trying to make something happen up there on that high line. As they also got that 390 of Mike Brewer trying to work his way on through. As they're up there on that high side. You just don't know, Bachman, if that inside lane is going to really work for you. As that outside lane just keeps prevailing a little by little here. It almost looks like that outer lane is going to be the better lane. And from what I've kind of figured out here at Knoxville, you almost want to be center of the turns going through. And look out, looks like Brewer got a little bit out of shape coming there through turns 3 and 4. 4 laps to go here in heat number 1. Joseph Grundy out there in front. Brian Dickens there in second. Michael Vitale there third. Hanging down here in fourth is Randall Dixon. Jeff Barker here fifth. Sam Bachman sixth. As they work on down through here off the stripe. It is 3 laps to go now in heat number 1. Down here through off of turn number 2. Heading towards the back stretch. Everybody doing what they can. Michael Vitale there in third. Joseph Grundy out front. Sam Bachman still hanging on that bottom side a little bit. Now he's moved it up the lane into that up there where everybody else seems to be getting a little bit better run. Unfortunately, though, it's dropped him back into 6th. Jeff Barker up to 5th. Randall Dixon, he's dropped back 1 into 4th as Michael Vitale moved up into 3rd. And other than that, everything's been kind of unchanged. You see Vitale there at the back bumper of Dickens as he tries to find a way around. Joseph Grundy up there to the high side as Dickens takes a shot to the inside, does not have the momentum there as they come down here into corner number 3 and 4 for the final time here in heat number 1. Right there above the slick they go, down here off the corner. Grundy out front, Dickens there in second, Vitale there third, Randall Dixon there in fourth. All right, here we go. Heat result for heat number 1. Going to be Joseph Grundy. Brian Dickens there second. Michael Vitale third. Randall Dixon fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Sam Bachman sixth. John Dubai there seventh. Mike Brewer eighth. Glenn Sharp there in ninth. And Michael Todd rounds out your field there for finishing in heat number 1. Heat number 2. Matt Barber out front with Brandon Templeton there second. Kurt Schatzer there third. Dean Reynolds there fourth. Anthony Morano there fifth. Ryland Banks there in sixth. Dylan Kinsey seventh. Bob DeGood there in eighth. And Clay Christopherson in ninth. That is your heat number 2 lineup as we get them around the racetrack and get them started here. And see that 218 of Kurt Schatzer down there on the bottom side. Matt Barber out front. Got Dean Reynolds there in fourth. Not sure what's happening there. Why we all of a sudden lost everybody? Everybody's back, though. I'm not sure what that hiccup was for. Pace car is off. We're going back. Green flag racing here in just a short moment. Hey, driver work here off up 4 down there on the inside is Matt Barber. Your control car gets on that loud pedal down here in the corner number 1. And down there on the inside as well is that 218 of Kurt Schatzer. The 31 of Brandon Templeton getting a great run there on the higher line as they work there through in the corner number 3 and 4. Templeton doing what he can on that high line there, now working off of the corner. Everybody kind of single files out. Anthony Morano jumps up here into 4th position as he tries to get something worked out there down there on the low line. Cannot quite get there as Dean Reynolds and him battle it out for 4th and 5th position. Through turn 3 and 4. Oh, come on now, drivers. There we go. I'm not sure why. Oh, hang on to it. You got the 51 of Clay Christopherson and Anthony Morano bouncing up over the top of the curb. Now Dean Reynolds up there into the outside wall a little bit down here in the corner number 3. 6 laps to go here in heat number 2. Everybody does what they can down here in the corner number 1. Kurt Schatzer there in 3rd. Matt Barber working on the inside of Brandon Templeton working on the bottom side of Matt Barber. He tries to come up and get him. Oh, hang on to it. Getting a little close there, coming off the corner. Great racing going on up front there. Anthony Morano falls back in the 5th position behind Dean Reynolds. That 218 of Kurt Schatzer, he's there behind that 31 of Brandon Templeton. As Brandon Templeton now gets another run here at Matt Barber. Up here 4 to go. Round off the corner. What type of run will they get down here in the corner number 1? Matt Barber looking down there to the low side here, in through 1 and 2. Drag racing it down the backstretch, cannot quite get there. Oh, come on now. Why are you doing this to me down the backstretch here tonight? Heat 1 ran fine. Now it's giving me problems here in Heat 2. They were gone down through off of the corner. You see Anthony Morano there to the inside. Dean Reynolds. Clay Christopherson down there on the bottom side. Dylan Kinsey back here in about 8, now 7, as he fights for position. Clay Christopherson there in 6th. Now he's looking to see if he can get up there and battle with Dean Reynolds and Anthony Morano as he goes down there to the inside along the bottom edge of the racetrack. Gets around Morano for the moment. Can he keep it there? No, he cannot. Going to fall back in behind. As Morano now looks down low here underneath Dean Reynolds. Cannot quite complete anything as they come off the corner for the checkered flag coming across the line. Matt Barber, your winner with Brandon Templeton there in 2nd. Kurt Schatzer 3rd. Heat 2 results. Matt Barber is your winner. Brandon Templeton 2nd. Kurt Schatzer 3rd. Dean Reynolds 4th. Anthony Morano there 5th. Clay Christopherson there in 6th. Dylan Kinsey there 7th. Ryland Banks there in 8th. And then Bob DeGood finishes out there in 9th. All right, heat number 3, the grid. Going to be Alex Pomerleau out there in front. Randy Shreves there 2nd. Harold Klump in 3rd. Scott Briome 4th. Kelly Wheeler 5th. Brian Moore in 6th. Trevor Garou rolls off in 7th with Mason Hine in 8th. And William Watson in 9th. All right, here we go, looking great. At 397, Alex Pomalu down there on the inside, just waiting to get this show on the road for heat number 3. Pace car is off. Now they're just waiting for that green flag to drop. And away they go down here in the corner number 1 they go. In the 1 they go with the loud pedal pressed. Alex Pomalu out front. Randy Shreves their second. Harold Klump now in third as they battle it out down the backstretch. Scott Riome trying to get that outside lane to work. They go 3 wide. We got Kelly Wheeler down there on the inside. He tries to get something gathered up. Cannot quite do it yet. As the 55, Brian Moore is there as well. Real tight racing here in heat number 3. And you got Scott Riome there in that 444, working down here into corner number 3. The 56 of Randy Shreves up there in second. Alex Pomalu up there in front. Scott Riome there third. Kelly Wheeler working his way up there in the 4th now. 6 laps to go here in heat number 3. A little bit getting loose there for Scott Riome. In that 4th, he tries to figure out which lane he wants as he gets down to the top side. And now Kelly Wheeler kind of boxes him in there as he now goes up top. Kelly Wheeler now has to really watch himself there on the 56 of Randy Shreves. Had to kind of back off of it just slightly as they battle it out back there for 4th place between Kelly Wheeler and Scott Riome. That's 3rd and 4th. That battle on down through turn number 1 and 2. Brian Moore back here 5th. Harold Klump in 6th. They all roll down here. It is Randy Shreves there in 2nd. Trying to catch that 397 of Alex Pomalu, who is out front at this point in time. Randy Shreves in 2nd. Scott Riome there 3rd. Kelly Wheeler there 4th. And at 55, Brian Moore sitting there in 5th right now as they roll around here onto the backstretch down in the corner number 1, or down in the corner number 3 once again. Coming around here to 2 to go as Alex Pomalu still leads the way. Now they all are sliding around trying to get that little bit of traction again to try to get up there toward the front. Side by side, there you see that 23 of William Watson moving up through as he's up 3 spots from where he started. Harold Klump's kind of falling back here as he has fallen back 4 positions from the start of this race. Coming here out of turn number 4, here Alex Pomalu out front, holding on to that lead where he kind of started here, as you got Randy Shreves there in 2nd, Scott Riome there 3rd, Kelly Wheeler there in 4th, Brian Moore in 5th. As off the corner they go. Coming across the line, it is going to be Alex Pomalu for the win. Randy Shreves there 2nd, Scott Riome in 3rd with Kelly Wheeler in 4th in that number 11 machine. All right, here we go. Results for heat number 3. Alex Pomalu out front is your winner. Randy Shreves in 2nd. Scott Riome 3rd. Kelly Wheeler there in 4th. Brian Moore there 5th. William Watson there 6th. Harold Klump in 7th. Trevor Garou there 8th. Mason Hine in 9th. All right, we are currently in the consolation. We'll show the grid for it. Jeff Barker out front, Anthony Morano in 2nd. Brian Moore will roll off 3rd. Sam Bachman 4th. Clay Christopherson there 5th. William Watson 6th. John Dubai 7th. Dylan Kinsey there 8th. Harold Klump 9th. Mike Brewer in 10th. Rylan Banks in 11th. Trevor Garou there in 12th and 13th here. It's going to be Glenn Sharp, Bob the Good there in 14th. Mason Hine 15th and Michael Todd in 16th. This is for the LCQ, your last chance qualifier. Glenn Sharp and Michael Todd did not come to the grid. All right, let's see how this plays out. Sam Bachman there in third. And that 007 is your points leader here in the 358 division. 9 laps is the distance, so as they come here out of corner number 4. Pace car is off. We're going to be getting back to that green flag racing. Green flag. Whoa, what a jump there from the... I want to say that was a jump from the start there for the 89... Ryland, or 79, or 76, sorry, of Ryland Banks jumping that start. As they roll down here through off of turn number 1, Jeff Barker out front with Anthony Morano there second, running that higher line. There you see down there Sam Bachman in third, William Watson fourth, Clay Christopherson trying to get that inside lane to work there below that number 23 of William Watson as they come on down through there. Dylan Kinsey there in 6th, Brian Moore in 7th, Mike Brewer here in 8th, Trevor Giroux in 9th. He is second in the points up there on the top side, trying to get something that works together for him here tonight. As Ryland Banks jumped it to the pits here after making that mistake on the start, jumping it. Head on down here in corner number 1. Chris Dobson getting a great run down there on the bottom side. Can he hold on to it as Anthony Morano ups up there to his high side? Down in the corner number 3 and 4. Battling up there is Sam Bachman in 3rd spot. Jeff Barker there in 5th. As they battle it on down here in the corner number 1 and 2. You can see all the FTM Motorsport machines up there towards the front. With Clay Christopherson up there in front right now. Anthony Morano there in 2nd. Sam Bachman there 3rd. William Watson in 4th. Dylan Kinsey there 5th. Jeff Barker in 6th, now 7th. As Mike Brewer gets around him down there on the bottom side. Eight guys travel down the backstretch now. 5 laps to go here in the LCQ. Up here through off of the corner they go. 4 laps to go now with Clay Christopherson leading the way. Anthony Morano there in 2nd. Sam Bachman there 3rd. And I believe Morano, if I remember correctly from when I looked at the stats, he is sitting in 3rd place on the standings. Yes, Morano is 3rd place on the standings. Currently 2nd right now. Bachman trying to get up there to battle him as we've got 3 laps to go here in the LCQ. Down here around off the corner. Looking to the inside as Sam Bachman can't quite get there though. Down here in the corner number 1. And through the corner, Anthony Morano way up the racetrack. That's going to cost him a spot or 2. As now he battles back up there. He's got to try to really reel it in. As Bachman comes around down there on the bottom side. Got it tight. End up sliding up. Had to kind of get out of it a little bit. That's going to let Anthony Morano back into that 2nd position. Last lap here as Bachman's down here on the bottom side. Final lap here as they battle it on out. Clay Christopherson out there in front. Anthony Morano there in 2nd. Sam Bachman 3rd. And that's going to be about how they finish here in the LCQ as that 23 of William Watson is going to fall back here in the 4th position and they come across the line. All right, here is your finishing order of your LCQ. Clay Christopherson, Anthony Morano in 2nd, Sam Bachman in 3rd, William Watson 4th, 5th goes to Dylan Kinsey, 6th, Mike Brewer, Trevor Giroux there in 7th, Jeff Barker 8th, Brian Moore in 9th, John Dubai there in 10th, Bob DeGood there in 11th, Harold Plump 12th, Mason Hine there in 13th, Ryland Banks 14th, Glenn Sharp in 15th, and Michael Todd in 16th. All right, and we'll be back after this short message here with the main feature here for the 358s.
these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and it got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, back here from the Speedway. Marked red for this evening. Gonna be Joseph Grande starting off in front with Matt Barber. They're outside row number 1 and second. Row number 2 is going to be Alex Parmalu with Brian Dickens, his outside in 4th. Row number 3, Brandon Templeton starting in 5th with Randy Shreves in 6th. Row number 4 is Michael Vitale on the inside in 7th with Kurt Schatzer in 8th. Scott Riome in 9th inside row number 5 with Randall Dixon to his outside. In row number 6, it's going to be in the 11th position in at number 79, Dean Reynolds. In 12th position, outside row number 6, going to be that 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Heading on down through into row number 7, that's going to be Clay Christopherson in 13th on the inside. Anthony Morano there in 14th to his outside. Sam Bachman in 15th with William Watson starting in 16th outside row number 8. Inside row number 9 is Dylan Kinsey with Mike Brewer to his outside in row number 9. And in row 10, it's Trevor Garou there in 19th with Jeff Parker to his outside in 20th. In row number 11, that's going to be Brian Moore on the inside in 21st. And to his outside is John Dubai and the number 21 starting 22nd. Inside row number 12, it's going to be Bob DeGood down there in 23rd, and Harold Klump to his outside starting in 24th. Coming out of turn number 4 they come. They're going to get ready to get on that loud pedal. Green flag is out. Here we go. We're down and away. Main feature event here tonight for the Coast to Coast Racing League. Hey, driver, come on down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Hang on to it. Brian Dickens down there on the inside as they try to wrap it around there. Brandon Templeton up there in 3rd. Matt Barber there in 2nd. Alex Parmalu sitting out there in front. Had a great run there in his feature race. Not his feature, in his heat race. Had a great run there as he didn't really look back from it here as they worked out of corner number 4. Down through the front stretch, you see that 122 there. Brian Dickens, he's trying to work his way up through there. Michael Vitale also down there on the inside for LFM. And you see Randy Shreves there in that number 56. He's going to try to work his way up there towards the front. You got Dean Reynolds as well trying to find his way up there. It's 30 laps for the distance tonight as everybody works around here off of 2. We're currently on lap number 4. Down through the back stretch. Brian Dickens down there on the inside, going to get the slide job there Brandon Templeton ends up getting him a little bit out of whack. He ends up back into third position. Could be in danger of going to fourth. I guess Alex Parmalee dropped back into fourth. Dickens now falls there, is in battle with Brandon Templeton. As Templeton tries to get back up there towards the front. Matt Barber now as your race leader in at number 16. Looking real smooth down there on the bottom edge of the racetrack. Not much there really if you look at it. With the way the slick's set up, he's going to run a little higher above the slick here through turns 3 and 4. Brian Dickens there in second. Matt Barber, now let's see. He'll drop it back down there to the inside through turns 1 and 2. Brian Dickens up there on the top side through both corners. Running through the little bit of a slick spot in the entry. Coming there through off of the corner. Brandon Templeton's right there behind him. Alex Parmalee, and you've got a fleet of cars coming behind him. There you see the 213 of Vitale. Dean Reynolds right there behind him. The 56 of Randy Shreves down there on the inside. Can't quite make a move there on Vitale as Vitale now works up there into, look at them cars bounce there around the racetrack. Look out, here comes the 444 of Scott Riome as he's up there in 8th right now. 22 laps to go. Clay Chris Thompson, he's working the bottom side of the racetrack as well. Can't quite get the run off the corner that he needs to get up there underneath Randall Dixon. As Dixon's up there to the back of the 218 of Kurt Satzer. Brian Dickens still hangs on to second as Barber is there out front. Templeton there third. Alex Parmalee fourth. Michael Vitale back here fifth. Randy Shreves in sixth. As these drivers are putting on a show here tonight from Knoxville. 21 laps to go. Heading down here through the front stretch into corner number 1 to go. Brandon Templeton there in third. Alex Parmalee there fourth. Michael Vitale fifth. Everybody is trying to find out how to get some momentum, trying to figure out where to make these passes. There you see Anthony Morano working down there on the inside. And he probably would like to try to stay ahead of this man here in that 007, Sam Bachman, because that'll help him gain a little bit on the points table if he can finish ahead of Sam. Sam's going to have some issues here. Matt Barber up there in front. And the other guy who's in second, I believe that was, let me look at the standings again here. While we're talking about it, Trevor Garou. Trevor Garou, he's struggling here tonight as he is back here towards the back. Second in points, but struggling really bad here at Knoxville as he's back here in about 23rd. Now he's moving up through. Trevor Garou back in about 23rd position as he's trying to find ways of making something happen. Michael Vitale working to the outside there of Randy Shreves. As Dean Reynolds there is trying to get to his inside. 213 there of Randy Shreves. Right, 56 of Randy Shreves, 213 of Michael Vitale. Dean Reynolds there in the 79 as they work here off the corner. 15 laps to go. Matt Barber still your race leader. As Brian Dickens is trying to find some sort of lane to try to run him down here. It looks like he is little by little here as the gap is changing. And yeah, that 122 sitting in second. Brandon Templeton there in third. Working there on the bottom side of the racetrack as they work there. There you got one up there on the higher line. That is the 39.7 of Alex Parmalee. As Randy Shreves tries to chase him down here through corner number 3 and 4. Up there on the top side is Brandon Templeton. Brian Dickens closes in here. He's down to about 0.3 of a second behind Barber. Now just a quarter of a second back. He is there trying to make something happen here as these laps are closing in. 12 laps to go. drivers doing what they can to try to get up there. 11 laps to go here. All right, I have lost my mouse temporarily, not sure exactly why. Caution is out. We're going to see what this caution is for. All right, we got the mouse back now. Caution is out. Let's take a look at what the caution was for. It looks like John Dubai having some issues. Yellow flag is out. Here we go. Why can't we get down there to see this? We see it all happening there. Oh, come on now. I see him coming around here. Trying to see what happened here. Show Matt Barber was involved, but I'm not sure exactly why. He was our race leader. John Dubai is who we're trying to look at. Up there on the top of the speedway. You can see that mess there. I just can't get ourselves zoomed in there to really see what happened. There you see the mess that's there. A green flag race, 8 laps to go. Matt Barber out front. Brian Dickens there second. Brandon Templeton there third. Alex Parmalu in fourth. Randy Shreves there in fifth. And he's driving battle out. There comes Dean Reynolds down there on the bottom side of Michael Vitelli. Vitelli up there against the outside wall. And here comes Michael Vitelli down there on the inside of Dean Reynolds. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4. He's going to slide it up. Dean Reynolds going to look for the undercut. He does. Coming here off of turn number 4. Matt Barber, 6 laps to go for him as he's got that 122 at Brian Dickens there behind him. Coming down into corner number 3. Dickens getting a great run up on the higher line. Can he hold it? As Barber comes off the low side, keeping that momentum going. Now they both run the low line coming there through 1 and 2. Brian Dickens there in second. Vitelli now around. We see Dean Reynolds and Michael Vitelli are fighting for position there. And just beating off of one another's quarter panel. Coming down there, and then all of a sudden, he gets a little help, it looks like, from the 444. That was a 444, and sorry, there it is, Scott Rion. 5 laps to go to complete this run. Matt Barber coming down there to the line, leading them all to the green flag here as this one finishes out. Brandon Templeton up there, way up there against that outside wall here. Brian Dickens there in second. Matt Barber getting a nice jump out there. 4 laps to go. He comes down here in the corner number 3. Brian Dickens getting a good run there, and up into the outside wall goes Templeton. That's going to hurt him some. As he drops him back here into the clutches of Anthony Morano. Down there around off the corner. And I'm trying to figure out 007 of Sam Bachman. He's back here in 11. So points are going to take a little bit of a shake-up here this week. We've got Dickens now up there on the top side. Trying to get up there. 2 laps to go. He's there at the bumper of Barber. Just cannot seem to get that pass to cooperate as they come down through the backstretch. Alex Parmalu there in fourth. Now, as Randy Shreve gets around him in that number 56, Anthony Morano there fifth. Brian Dickens still trying to get up there. Final lap here. Anthony Morano, what a move by him as he gets himself up there in the third. But Randy Shreve fights back there on the outside here, coming down into corner number 3 and 4. Down there on the bottom side, a little bit of tap there from Alex Parmalu. And it looks like Matt Barber's going to take the lead here with Randy Shreve taking third over top of Anthony Morano. Now we wait for the final results to come in. Your results for the night. Matt Barber is your winner here in the 358s. Brian Dickens is second. Randy Shreve third. Anthony Morano fourth. Alex Parmalu there fifth. Dean Reynolds fifth. Alex Parmalu there fifth. Dean Reynolds sixth. William Watson seventh. Scott Rioman eighth. Kurt Schatzer ninth. Sam Bachman 10th. Craig Christopherson there 11th. Brian Moore 12th. Randall Dixon 13th. Bob DeGood 14th. Jeff Parker 15th. Trevor Garou there in 16th. Harold Klump 17th. And 18th tonight, that's going to be Mike Brewer. And 19th is Dylan Kinsey. 20th is Kelly Wheeler. Mega Watelli brings home 21st. John Dubine 22nd. 23rd will go to Brandon Templeton. And 24th, Joseph Grandi. Get a little warm here in the booth. Man, oh man, what a night of racing it's been so far. Good evening, Randy. How's it going?
Hey, not too bad, man.
Well, you got yourself third place here. You had to really fight for it there at the end, though, with alongside Anthony Morano.
Yeah, man, it's always tough with them guys. I'm not really a modified driver by any means. I like my wing, but you know, sometimes I can put together a pretty good run, and you know, sometimes hang with these guys, and it always feels good when I do.
Well, you look good out there. You had a great night of racing. Looked like it was fun out there. And cars seem to be handling pretty well for you.
Yeah, it handled pretty nicely. Just had to figure out a few things there at the end, and I kind of screwed up a little bit. But yeah, I think I found a little something there, and 1 and 2 just ripping the top, and then 3 and 4 just kind of going just a little bit below the top. But yeah, it paid off there at the end, and just glad to pull off a podium, man.
Well, you look great out there, and like we said, you stayed ahead of Morano. I know he was trying his hardest down there on the bottom side of you.
Oh yeah, he's always a tough contender, man. He's definitely one of the best drivers in these things, in my opinion. But you know, it's always good to finish in front of him. It makes you at least know you're doing something right anyway.
All right, you got sponsors or shout-outs you want to thank for getting up there into the podium here in the 358s?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank everybody at Coast to Coast for putting on this awesome league. You know, you for the broadcast, Dylan Shreves Designs for painting my car, KSB Builders, and everybody for watching.
Definitely fun here tonight, and you did a great job there getting that podium. Are we going to see you in any more races tonight?
Yeah, I'll give her another try in these things. We'll see what happens, man.
All righty, well, good luck in the big block.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was Randy Shreves, our third place finisher. Now we'll get with Brian Dixon. Good evening, Dickens. How's it going?
I'm doing well, buddy. How are you?
Doing really well. Just unfortunately, you didn't quite have the, I guess, the track to really chase down Matt Barber. You seemed like you could get up there, but you just couldn't find that momentum to pass him.
Yeah, getting around them was a different story. Creating a little speed was a little easier, but yeah. I thought I was going to be able to get a run a few times on the outside of 4, and was making some speed down in 1 and 2 as well, but just needed that extra room.
And sometimes you just don't quite get the room you need.
Yep, that's right.
So, I mean, all in all, though, you put on a great race. Looked like you had a good run there in your heat race, and just unfortunately couldn't quite cap it off here tonight. But, I mean, still, second place podium, it's still nothing to complain too much about. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the points stack up after tonight, as I know the points leaders are all through the field tonight.
Yeah, it was a really stacked field here tonight. I mean, just to watch the Consi and see all the good guys and stuff in the Consi, I mean, it was a really good turnout tonight.
Well, you got any sponsors, shout-outs, or anybody that you want to thank for helping you get that second place tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Dirt Track Bank, everything they do for us, our team, our league, everybody in Dirt Track Racing that they help. I want to thank Hammer Down Racing, Kurt, BT, and Joe. I wish Joe would get back out here and run with us some. You guys on the broadcast, Top Notch Trucking for sponsoring, everybody at C2C and behind the scenes at C2C, the work that everybody has to put in to put this league on is very much appreciated. Just appreciate it.
All right, well, congrats again for getting second place. And are we going to see you in the big blocks?
Nah, man, I'm a 1 and out, man.
1 and out. All righty. Well, you came in, got the podium, so you're ending your night on a high note then.
Yeah, man. Hope y'all have a good night.
All righty. You too. I have with Brian Dickens. Now we'll get with Matt. Good evening, Matt. How's it going?
Oh, not bad. How are you?
Victory Lane must feel pretty good here in the 358s.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Well, were you concerned at all about Brian Dickens there getting a run on you at all, or did you kind of think you had him just enough?
Absolutely, I was. I had like a second gap, and then I look in my mirror, and he's right there. Like he just reeled me in like nothing. So I was getting a little nervous, but started searching around for more grip. But I don't know. He was just he was just the one to beat tonight. In my opinion, I mean.
Well,
I just-
he
you
looked
know,
good.
I just stayed as consistent as I could.
Just unfortunately, you were able to keep out in front of him just enough to make it happen.
Yeah, no, it was just a lot of searching around, trying to find where the grip was going, and I thought I figured it out there at the start, and obviously the track evolved, but yeah, I don't know, I didn't really figure it out too much after the start until near the end, I think, but it was a pretty good race. You can't complain.
Well, that's the thing with the dirt track is that track's forever changing. So, I mean, you always got to try to find out where that grip is as the track rubbers up.
Absolutely, yeah. That's it's pretty tricky at times.
So, but you did a good job of it tonight, keeping that number 16 out front. You got sponsors, shout-outs you want to thank for getting up there into that front spot.
For sure, I want to thank Top Notch Trucking for sponsoring this series, Tessie Mechanical, my guys that run the racing program in real life, Dean Reynolds, of course, for sponsoring us and me and a bunch of my buddies that we race with and getting us in this league, so that's awesome. Of course, Vertex Graphics for putting on the. He probably wraps about half of the cars in this field, so that's pretty awesome, and you can see why. He does a killer job every single time. And, of course, all my buddies that I'm in Discord with, one of them was basically spotting for me tonight, giving me, being a man in my ear, giving me some tips, so can't complain there. And, yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, well, congrats on the victory here in the 358s. Are we going to see you in any more races tonight?
Oh, yeah, I'm running all three tonight. Yep.
You're running all three? Well, good luck in the big blocks.
Thank you.
All right, that is Matt Barber, our winner here in the 358s. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with the big blocks coming up shortly.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, good evening again, folks, as we're here from the Speedway. We're looking here at Sam Bachman down there in that 007. He looks like he took the front and left wheel off of that machine. He's running around in a tricycle now instead of being out there in a modified. Not doing terrible getting that thing around as we're getting ready for the qualifying. Go ahead and give you the points here for the big blocks. Anthony Morano out front in the points with 590. Mike Brewer with 589, so 1 point difference between Anthony Morano and Mike Brewer. Sam Bachman there in third. Jeffrey Barker in third as they are tied at 498 apiece. And Clay Christopherson is sitting in fifth with 489 points. So a tight group here on the tight grouping here on the big blocks as qualifying starts to commence. Having pretty decent turnout as well. Come on now, would you do what I want? There we go. Anthony Morano out on track, along with Chad Lackey. And at number 91, Mr. Bob DeGood out there in the number 7, Kubota. William Watson in the number 23. Dylan Kinsey in the 639. All right, Brandon Templeton laid down a quick time as we see them coming in here. Randall Dixon with an 18.882. Dylan Kinsey comes real close with an 18.882 as well. Just ends up a little bit short there and gets second at the moment. And then Trevor Garou comes through with an 18.862 for Trevor Garou. Dropping Randall Dixon back there into second. They all seem to have qualified here. Clay Christopherson back there on the bottom. Patrick Spangler down there with a 19.302. Sam Bachman running a few extra laps here, along with Michael Vitale, parking it down there on the bottom. Vitale in 7th place right now with an 18.939. Qualifying has now ended. We'll get with our Heat 1. Kelly Wheeler will start on pole at Heat 1. Those outside, Michael Vitale in 2nd row. Sam Bachman in 3rd on the inside in that 007. Trevor Guru will roll off in 4th with that 075. And inside row number 3 is William Watson starting in 5th with Randy Shreves in the number 56 starting his outside. Alex Parmalu in 7th in that 397 with Clay Christopherson rounding out your field here tonight in heat number 1. Oh, these are the big blocks. Should be a great race. Sam Bachman there 3rd, Trevor Guru there 4th, William Watson there 5th. All right, coming out of turn 4, getting ready to go. Michael Vitale there in 2nd, up there on the high side. You got Kelly Wheeler down there on the inside. Green flag is out there. You get match that loud pedal down here in the quarter number 1. Look out, here comes Sam Bachman down there on the inside. And here comes Trevor Guru. We saw that he was quick in qualifying, and he's showing all that speed up there on the outside, wasting no time, getting up there in the 3rd, trying to get up around Kelly Wheeler up there in the 2nd as he does so up here through turns number 1 and 2. Down there on the bottom side, Sam Bachman as they battle out through off of 2, down that backstretch. Trevor Guru up there in the 2nd. He's trying to chase down Michael Vitale. Vitale knows he might not have the speed there, it looks like, as he drops down there to the bottom side. Trevor Guru up there on the top side. 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go now. Here as they roll in the quarter number 1. 23, there William Watson in the middle of Randy Shreves and Clay Christopherson as they battle it down the backstretch. Michael Vitale still hanging on to the lead for the time being as Trevor Guru now battles down there on the inside, getting the run off of 4 down that front straightaway, and it's still going to be Michael Vitale taking that lap, but Trevor Guru getting the run down here in the quarter number 1, gets around him. Vitale now falls back into 2nd. Kelly Wheeler there in 3rd. Sam Bachman now driving for 3rd down there below him, down on the bank, around off of turn number 3 and 4. Kelly Wheeler still holds on to that 3rd spot coming across the line as Alex Fortigo down here through turn number 1 and 2. Kelly Wheeler trying to get up there to Michael Vitale. Sam Bachman still trying to find that piece of momentum that he needs to get up there to Kelly Wheeler. Randy Shreves back here in 5th as he's looking to the inside now. Also that 397 of Alex Parmalu down there on the inside of the 23, William Watson. They battle it through turn 1 and 2. Down that backstretch, 3 laps to go here in heat number 1. Kelly Wheeler up there in 2nd. Sam Bachman there in 4th. Michael Vitale 2nd. Trevor Guru out front. Started 4th because of the invert. Qualified the fastest. Ended up getting the invert here for heat number 1, dropping him back to 4th to start. And he fought his way up there pretty quickly into that front position now as Michael Vitale and Kelly Wheeler battle it out here for 2nd position. And right behind him is Sam Bachman as well. Michael Vitale sitting in 2nd, kind of where he started this race. Kelly Wheeler there in 3rd. Sam Bachman there in 4th. Now Sam Bachman back up to 3rd as Kelly Wheeler ends up the racetrack. Coming off the corner. They do keep them apart as they race out here to the backstretch. Heat 1 results coming in. Trevor Garou gets your win. Michael Batali there second. Sam Bachman third. Kelly Wheeler fourth. Randy Shreves there fifth. William Watson there sixth. Alex Parmalu there seventh. Clay Christopherson in eighth. Heat number 2, the grid. Matt Barber out there in front. Dean Reynolds in second. Harold Klump in third. Randall Dixon there fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Brandon Templeton there in sixth. With Brian Moore there in seventh. All right, coming on down, Drew. They are coming off. Getting a great start here. As they roll down here off the corner, you got Dean Reynolds up there in the top side. Matt Barber down there on the inside. Hey, drivers try to hang it out here. Green flag is out there, down and away. In the corner number 1, Matt Barber out front, right? Dean Reynolds there second. Harold Klump there in third. Randall Dixon fourth. As you see that number 2, Harold Klump, he struggled last race at the 358. Now he might have found something here in the big block as they roll it around here. Getting up there on that wheel, trying to get it off of turn number 2. You've got Randall Dixon there behind him in that 11 or that 011 machine. As we see back there, that 55 of Brian Moore. At 31, Brandon Templeton down there on the inside. Battle for first as Dean Reynolds tries to hang on to it there. And Matt Barber down there on the inside. Matt Barber, our winner there. And the 358 comes out here and shows that it wasn't just a fluke because he's out here winning his heat in the big block. As we're here in the heat number 2. And now Dean Reynolds gets down there on the low side, but Matt Barber getting a run there off the top side. What a run that was to keep that spot alive as he comes there through 3 and 4. Harold Klump there in third. He's now underneath of Dean Reynolds. Could not quite get it to stick as they run through the middle here on turn 1 and 2. 4 laps to go here in heat number 2. Dean Reynolds is, Matt Barber is your leader. Dean Reynolds in second. Harold Klump there in fourth now. Brandon Templeton trying to battle him down there on the inside. Brandon Templeton trying to get up there into that third spot. Dean Reynolds up there on the top side. He's now got Brandon Templeton down there to the bottom side of him. As Brandon gets around Harold. Harold falls back into fourth. Down here through turn 3 and 4 they go. Brandon Templeton down on the bottom side trying to really work that wheel. Get up there on it to try to get around Dean Reynolds. And they work down that back stretch. 2 laps to go here in heat number 2. Dean Reynolds there in second. Brandon Templeton there third. That is the battle we're looking at. As you see Harold Klump there in fourth. Randall Dixon down there on the inside of Harold now. And they come across the line. Harold has company from Randall Dixon down on the inside. Right now, looks like Dixon may have him for a moment, but no. Harold Klump gets that run. Final lap here as they come out of turn number 2. It's going to be Matt Barber out front. Dean Reynolds there in second. Brandon Templeton trying to fight down there on the bottom side. Randall Dixon getting around Harold Klump. As now Harold Klump falls back in the 5th. Heat 2 results on their way up. Matt Barber gets the win. Dean Reynolds there in second. Brandon Templeton there third. Randall Dixon fourth. Harold Klump fifth. Brian Moore there in 6th. Jeff Barker in 7th. All right, starting on the grid here out front, John Dubai, Chad Lackey there in second. Anthony Morano will roll off third. Dylan Kinsey fourth. Scott Rion fifth. Bob DeGood there in sixth. And Patrick Spangler rolls off in seventh in heat number 3. Anthony Morano back there in third. Chad Lackey there second. They roll on down through off the corner. Everybody antsy to get this heat underway. Green flag out, and they are down here in the quarter number 1. Chad Lackey getting a great jump there on the start on the high side. Brings it down around. He's got John Dubai down there in second. Dylan Kinsey there third. As Anthony Morano drops back there in the fourth, coming there off the corner. So that outside lane getting quite the run there. As they work there off the corner, John Dubai there in second in that number 21. Dylan Kinsey there in the 639. He's going to try to move it on up there, and he does. Up in the second position, John Dubai there in third now. That's Scott Rion's back here in fourth. Anthony Morano in fifth. Seems like Anthony might be struggling just a tad here in the big blocks tonight. Now, as John Dubai comes down across the nose of the the 444, I believe. Might have been the 7. Trying to look here. As Scott Rion is up into the outside wall down the backstretch. 6 laps to go, soon to be 5 as they come across the stripe. There with Chad Lackey out there in front. Dylan Kinsey there second. Anthony Morano there third. John Dubai fourth. Patrick Spangler up to fifth as he's made some good moves here coming there off at corner number 2. Down into corner number 3 and 4. Dylan Kinsey there in second. Right behind him is Anthony Morano. And Morano's finally getting something figured out here. As he's looking to the inside there at Dylan Kinsey. Right on down through here, off the corner. Chad Lackey up there in front. Dylan Kinsey second. Anthony Morano there third. John Dubai fourth. Patrick Spangler back here in fifth. Getting underneath the 21 of John Dubai as he works down the backstretch. He's there at the back quarter. Can he make something happen here coming through the corner? He gets out there just by an edge. Can he hold on to it here as they come out of the corner? Not quite, but he's still there. They work down here in the corner number 1. He's going to try to slide it on down in there once again. This time he does get it down there, and he does get it to stick as he slides up there in front of John Dubai. Down here in the corner number 4, John Dubai falls back in the 5th. As Patrick Spangler brings it up there in the 4th. Anthony Morano there in 3rd. Dylan Kinsey 2nd. Chad Lackey rolling out there in front. Final lap here as they work down the backstretch. Dylan Kinsey, their 2nd. Final time in the corner number 3 and 4. They work around back to the front stretch once again in that checkered flag. Chad Lackey gonna be your winner here as he rolls out of turn number 4 with Dylan Kinsey there in 2nd. Anthony Morano there 3rd. Patrick Spangler up to 4th. John Dubai falling clear back in the 5th. Your Heat 3 results coming up. Chad Lackey is your winner of Heat 3. Dylan Kinsey there 2nd. Anthony Morano there 3rd. Patrick Spangler 4th. John Dubai there in 5th. Scott Rion 6th. Bob DeGood there in 7th. And we'll take a short break. We'll be back after they warm up.
dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and it got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae in my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in the race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, here we go. Back from the speedway, we are getting the grid here. Trevor Garou starting on pole. Matt Barber there second. Chad Lackey third. Michael Vitale fourth. Dean Reynolds fifth. Dylan Kinsey's there in sixth. Sam Bachman seventh. Brandon Templeton eighth. Anthony Morano there in ninth. Kelly Wheeler 10th. Randall Dixon there in 11th. In 12th is Patrick Spangler. In 13th, that's going to be Randy Shreves with Harold Club 14th. John Dubai there 15th. William Watson 16th. Brian Moore will roll off in 17th. Scott Riome in 18th. Alex Parmalu in 19th. Jeff Barker there in 20th. And Bob the Good 21st. Clayton Christopherson in 22nd. Lights are out on the pace machine. We're going to be getting ready to go. Green flag racing here. Trevor Garou out front. Matt Barber there in second. Chad Lackey there third. Dean Reynolds fourth. Michael Vitale there fifth. Down the front stretch they go into corner number one. Trevor Garou getting off to a great jump there. Matt Barber up there on the high side, and they roll here off of turn number two down that back stretch to 91 of Chad Lackey. Sitting there at the bottom side of Matt Barber as they work down here through turns 3 and 4 and back around onto the front stretch they go. As you see them here rolling off there 2 by 2. You've got Anthony Morano down there on the inside trying to battle his way up there. There's Dean Reynolds and Michael Vitale battling it out together as they roll down the back stretch. As you see, Michael Vitale up there in the fourth now as he tries to get up there a little farther as he's got Chad Lackey there in third as they battle it all down here through the front stretch down into corner number 1 and 2. The 007 of Sam Bachman up there on the high side above Anthony Morano. with Brandon Templeton there behind him as they work up there. Now Brandon Templeton up there on the high side beside Anthony Morano as they roll on here through turns 3 and 4. Chad Lackey up to second now. He's looking to make a run there as the leader. And he's down there on the inside trying to get the power off the corner. Drew still doing a great job on the higher line. As Lackey's there on the bottom side, a little bit above there. Now here they come off of turn number 4. Everybody nice and tight. Michael Vitale there in 4th. Right there above Dean Reynolds. Them two battling it out quite a bit here tonight. As Dylan Kinsey's there in 6th. Sam Bachman in 7th. Now 8th as Templeton gets around him. Hang on to it there. We're getting a little antsy there. We got Lackey there in 2nd. Trying to battle around Guru as he's down there on the bottom side. Right now has it by a nose as he slides it on down into corner number 3 and 4. Guru still fighting back on the high side as they battle it on back down through here, down through the front stretch. It's, well, that's tough to call there at that line as these two are still battling it out hard up here at the front. Here with 24 laps to go in your main feature event here tonight. As they head on down through off the corner, side by side, still for the lead. You got Matt Barber out there in 3rd with Dylan Kinsey in 4th. As Dean Reynolds back here in 5th. Sam Bachman has crashed. See if we can figure out what happened to Bachman here. You see him coming down through there. Bachman's where? Up there. Okay, so looks like Dean Reynolds gets loose, comes up there. Vitale then comes up into the side of Sam Bachman. Vitale and Dean all check up. Everything's a mess there down the front stretch. As then he ends up into the outside wall coming down here in the corner number 1 up on top. Vitale, Morano, all up there, crushed against the outside wall. Bachman's just trying to keep it up out of the way. So 23 laps to go with our first caution on the speedway. Green flag back in the air down here in quarter number 1. Trevor Carew getting a quick start, as so does Chad Lackey down there on the bottom side. Them two battling it out quite a bit before the caution come out. Chad Lackey picking up where he left off down there on the inside. Here comes Dylan Kinsey, though, working that outside lane as they work down here through turns 3 and 4. Back across here. Spangler out, Barker possibly out. As they roll on down through here, Trevor Carew up there on the top side. Chad Lackey working that bottom side. And so is Dylan Kinsey. Kinsey's working more in the middle of the racetrack. Matt Barber back here in about 4th. Our 358 winner. Trevor Carew, though, what a run he's having here so far, along with Chad Lackey as he's down there on the bottom side. Dylan Kinsey up there towards that outside berm as they come here off the corner down that front straightaway. 19 laps to go here for the feature event in the 358 Big Block Showdown. I'm not sure if anybody's got a 358 out here, though, for that, as they are pretty sure everybody's running big blocks as big as this track is. I'd be surprised learning somebody having a 358 out there. Down here through corner number 1 and 2, you got Matt Barber there in fourth. Chad Lackey now back to third. Dylan Kinsey brings it up into second with Trevor Drew leading the race there in front. Kelly Wheeler in fifth as they come around there. Trying to get tangled up there. Dean Reynolds and others there on that last caution. William Watson down there in eighth as he's got Vitelli underneath him coming through turns 1 and 2. Harold Klump back here in 10th. As Scott Riome is also back here and it's sitting about 11. Drivers all over the racetrack right now as these drivers try to find their best line. 16 laps to go. It's got the triple four there of Scott Riome working his way up through the field as he's now up there in the 10th. Mike Vitale sitting there in 9th. Working on down through turns 3 and 4. Trevor Garou out front. Dylan Kinsey there in second. Chad Lackey there third. Matt Barber in fourth. Anthony Morano there fifth. Down in the corner, number 3 and 4. These drivers doing everything they can. Here comes Morano down there on the inside. Can't quite get there as Barber is hanging it in there for fourth position right now, right behind Chad Lackey. Dylan Kinsey now trying to make a run there at Garou. Garou got this thing locked up out front at the moment as they come around turns 3 and 4, heading here to 13 to go as they come across the line. Morano now getting a run at Matt Barber down there on the inside. Gets almost a 2-for-1 as he slides up there, getting up there close to Chad Lackey. Morano trying to find that slider line to get him out through the corner. Matt Barber, though, is not going to have none of it as he works down there on the inside now. He's going to get back around Anthony Morano for the time being down here in the corner number 1. 12 laps to go. As you see, Matt Barber getting underneath Chad Lackey now. As Morano then gets him back around Barber. Barber now has to dive it back down. He's going to try to get back underneath the Morano. And he does so down the front straightaway. In the corner number 1 once again. He's going to slide it back up. Going to put Morano back behind him, hopefully, as they work here off of 2. These two battling it out quite hard here as they come back down in the corner number 3 and 4. Chad Lackey drops down to the bottom side, getting in the way a little bit of Matt Barber and Anthony Morano as they work on down through here. Now, Chad Lackey up the racetrack. Here comes Matt Barber. He's sitting there for it. And Morano battling there in second. John Dubai and Brandon Templeton having problems. Caution is out. I see it all unfold there. There's the 011 of Randall Dixon. I come down through here. There's the 21 of John Dubai going around, along with Brandon Templeton. right, getting ready for the green flag here. And you see Trevor Giroux getting back after it. Down here in the corner number 1. Trevor Giroux out front, leading the way. Dylan Kinsey there in second. Anthony Morano there in third. As Morano's down there underneath Dylan Kinsey, now coming there off of turn number 2. Chad Lackey trying to get up there as he's in fourth right now. Don't want to watch everybody roll away here as Morano's down there along that berm on the bottom side of the racetrack as he's getting up there beside Trevor Giroux. Trevor Giroux running that high line there, trying to just stay ahead of everybody. But Morano, it might have found something down there on the bottom side now as he comes down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Down there back along the bottom edge, down there along that bank. As they come there off the corner, Trevor Giroux still hangs it out there in front. 6 laps to go here. As Giroux ends up there towards the outside wall, has to gather up and get the momentum down the backstretch. Morano down there on the inside, back down there along that inside apron. As they come here off of 4, it's going to be too close there at the line, but I'm going to say it was Giroux at the line that time. As they come here off of corner number 2, Anthony Morano still has it by a little bit. Now down here in the corner number 3 and 4, 5 to go. There through 3 and 4. Dylan Kinsey jumps up there to the high side. Chad Lackey, now he's going to try to get involved as Anthony Morano does get out front for the time being here as Trevor Giroux tries to chase it back down. As he gets there to the back bumper, ends up on the top side once again as Giroux comes there through turns 3 and 4, up there on the high side, but Morano's going to get the run off the bottom. Chad Lackey there in third now down there on the bottom side as he gets underneath, and here comes Dylan Kinsey also into the mix. And they all work here through turns 3 and 4. Coming around, 2 laps to go. Anthony Morano out front. Trevor Giroux there second. Chad Lackey third. Dylan Kinsey there fourth. Off end up. Matt Barber rolling off there. Chad Lackey third. Trevor Giroux. And in the corner number 3 and 4, Anthony Morano out there in front. Trevor Giroux there second. One more time around, and they come across the stripe. Anthony Morano out front. Trevor Giroux there in second. Anybody got anything for anybody? As Chad Lackey looks to the inside, and Trevor Giroux coming there off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Chad Lackey going to try to dive it in there. Cannot quite get it there, and Trevor Giroux dives it in there as well. They're going to try to stay single file here as they come off of turn 4 for the final time. Anthony Morano is going to be your winner. Trevor Giroux there second. Chad Lackey takes third. Waiting on your finish results to come in. Anthony Morano, your winner here tonight in the big blocks. Trevor Giroux in second. Chad Lackey third. Dylan Kinsey in fourth. Dean Reynolds fifth. Matt Barber rolls off, finishes tonight sixth with William Watson seventh. Kelly Wheeler eighth. Scott Rio ninth. Randy Freeze their 10th. Sam Bachman 11th. Blake Christopherson their 12th. Mike Vitale their 13th. Jeff Parker 14th. Harold Plump 15th. Alex Parmalee their 16th. 17th is Randall Dixon. Finishing tonight 18th is Brian Moore. John Dubai 19th. Bob the Good there 20th. Brandon Templeton there in 21st. And Patrick Spangler finishes tonight in 22nd. All right, here we go. Our finishing order, we'll get with them here. We can, if I can get this to do what I want it to do. All right, Chad Lackey. Good evening, Chad. How's it going?
Good, yourself?
It's going well. It's going well. You got third place here in the big blocks.
Yeah, the car felt good tonight. Started off there. Honestly, the track was gripped up there nicely off the start, and as it went away and slowly drifted off the track, I don't know, the car I felt just went away. But the last restart there, I watched Anthony there on the bottom. I was tempting to go down there early on, but I figured I'd just try that top first in 1 and 2, and then try the bottom in 3 and 4. But as soon as he dive bombed there going into the first turn, I knew right then and there that the line was back down at the bottom. So I let as soon as he got by me there, I tried to sneak in behind him, try to follow him, see how he was rolling those corners. Honestly, it was I don't get how he does it. He makes that car work amazing on the bottom. He's such a good late race racer. It's awesome to follow him, and he's just a great person to learn off of.
Well, I know you were battling there with Trevor Garou for second place. He was making that outside line work.
Yeah, I was watching him up there. I think I was a little faster than Trevor there at the end. I think he used up some of his tires there late in the race. So I hoping to get to the run there on the bottom, but did a nice job there at the end blocking me. Yeah.
Great job there tonight getting that third place. You got sponsors and shout-outs you'd like to give here for helping you get into that second place?
Yeah, I just got to give a quick shout-out there to Dean Reynolds for sponsoring all of my Canadian buddies and C2C and 802. Got to give a shout-out to all the guys in Discord there. Vertex Graphics for hooking me up with the Sweet Wrap, and mostly all the guys there in C2C cars that he's made. Want to give a shout out to my mom and dad there. Just want to say a quick hello to them. All the guys there at C2C put this on. Of course, yourself, Adam, for doing the live stream there. And yeah.
It's my pleasure here. I enjoy it. We'll see what I can do here coming up. But as we're heading into the Pro Late models, are you running in those as well?
No, I gotta head to bed there. I gotta work early in the morning.
Okay. Well, you enjoy getting that up there on the podium here in the big blocks, and we'll see you next week.
All right, Adam. Thanks.
That was Chad Lackey, our third place finisher. Now we'll get with Trevor Garou. Good evening, Trevor. How's it going?
Good, you?
It's going well. Unfortunately, you didn't have enough to kind of hold off Morano there at the end, but you still came out with second.
Yeah, I mean, I just wasn't willing to commit to the bottom like him, and he's always fast on the bottom, so I felt comfortable. I just put the car where I felt comfortable, and that was in the middle towards the top, and it was fast for, I don't know, probably 80 or 90% of the race, and just started falling off there at the wrong time for me, and probably didn't want to see a couple of those yellows either, but that's racing.
You did a good job. You kept the car in one piece, and you're looking pretty good out there in the big blocks.
Yeah, I got some good finishes under my belt. Got a couple wins in these things over the last couple seasons, and feeling comfortable in these mods here. I'm more of a late model guy, but I do enjoy running these. They're pretty fun to run, and especially with all the FTM boys, they're mostly mod guys, I'd say. So feeling more comfortable in these things every time I'm in them. It's showing good speed every week, and at least I try to show good speed every week, and yeah.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and are we going to see you in the Pro Late models coming up?
Oh yeah, I'm already in here ready, and you'll definitely see me.
Alrighty, well, good luck to you.
All right, thank you. I just want to thank a couple sponsors before I go. Just of course, Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, everyone on this car, JRB Designs, all the guys at FTM for just being good hype guys. I mean, it's being on this team. I've seen improvements, and they're always encouraging, and it's a good group of guys. So shout out to those guys, and it was a great run for us in the big block. So happy to see that.
Alrighty, well, hopefully you can keep that run going here as you head into the Pro Late Models.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was Trevor Guru, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Anthony Morano. Good evening, Anthony. How's it going? You there, Anthony?
Hey, what's up, Adam?
Oh, not a whole lot. It seems like you struggled in the 358s a little bit.
I struggled in qualifying in the 358s and put myself behind the 8-ball and had to come through the B main and still came up to 4th, so picked up 10 spots. I think that was pretty good.
Well, you did a good job here in the big blocks, bringing it up 8 positions here in the feature here to bring you home on the victory lap, and in the victory lane, I should say. So, I mean, not too bad there. Finding that grip on the bottom.
Yeah, there's a lot of rolling the throttle and playing with the brake a little bit on the entry going into 3 to try to get the car load up to stay down there.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be a whole lot on the bottom, but if you caught it right, it looks like that's where the speed was.
Yeah, there was a lot of grip down there, right along the berm on the exit. So I was trying to hit that as most consistently as possible, and it was working pretty good. The slider line in 1 and 2 there into the middle, coming out right above the slick. Car was pretty much just hooked up the whole time.
It definitely looked like it was hooked up, and you did a great job getting it up there into the lead, and you still hold on to the points lead then.
That's the plan. Try to get at least 2 of them. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, Brewer was there. Brewer was behind you by 1 point going into tonight.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah, Mike Brewer was there behind you by 1 point in the big blocks.
Oh, man, I guess I have to really start watching out for those things.
It wasn't quite wrapped up as much as you thought it was it?
No, I thought I had a little more of a comfortable gap there, but I guess that'll happen. So we'll just keep racing, doing what we got to do, and pick up what we can.
Alrighty, well, congrats on the victory here tonight, and we'll see you on track in the Pro Late Models.
Absolutely.
Oh, before you go, you got sponsors and shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys over at FTM, Tina Super Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Rocky Photography, Shaggy TV, Adam, you, and Flieger Farm TV coming out and doing the broadcast for us and everyone at Coast to Coast.
All right, well, congrats again on Get Victory, and good luck in the race coming up.
Thanks a lot.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up here from the 358 and the big blocks. Let's see if we can get Shaggy here. Good evening, Shaggy. You there?
Yeah, what's going on, Adam?
Oh, not a whole lot. A lot of excitement going on so far tonight. And can't wait to see what the Pro Late Models bring us.
Yeah, man, it looks good. I mean, I imagine, I don't want to put more on your plate here, Adam, but I assume you're going to be racing here tonight again?
Oh, if you're broadcasting it, I will be. We're going to try anyway. I don't know
how
how well the eyesight is, but we're going to try.
Well, you coming in here, that'll give us 15 cars, Adam. That's why I asked. So that's a good amount of cars here. Got a lot of guys showing up. And, well, you mentioned, man, there was some good racing in the big block. I caught the end of that. Noticed the bottom was working, top side dominant. But I think we'll get another case of that here. I think we'll get some good two-line racing. And, man, the Knoxville Raceway never disappoints.
No, it don't. It's always been a lot of great racing, and can't wait to see what it prevails here for us. So if you're ready, whenever you're ready there, we'll get it switched over, and hopefully I can get in there before they close it off.
Oh, you'll be good. They're waiting on me. We'll confirm it up. I'm starting it right now. Go ahead and shut it.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Right when we talked about it.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here with part 3 of our little dance here at the Knoxville Raceway Thursday Night Thunder. This, of course, the Shaggy TV Pro late models. And I'm telling you, man, these late models, they always put on a good show, but here at Knoxville, just something a little special. And, you know, you heard me talking earlier to Adam, we'd have 15. Well, the American Beast showed up. We got 16 guys. Jeff Barker right now, P15 on the charts. Adam on his way in. I can see him on the list. Hasn't gotten a chance to put a lap time in, but will be here. Dylan Kinsey right now rolling around in that 639. He's P3 currently. Let's go to the last times around so you can see kind of what these guys are running, what we can expect maybe in qualifying. So Dylan with the 17.96. So I'd imagine, you know, maybe he might try the bottom. You know, there might be a little speed out there. Still, I don't know. But 17.8s to maybe the 18.0. Probably where we should expect to see qualifying time. Gets into the wall there a little bit. Let's park it here in turn 1. Ryland Banks in the 76. That was good timing. Gonna roll on through here. Ryland right now, P9. Using here pretty early with me. I noticed he was the only guy in there, just trying to get some track time in. Clips the inside berm there. Gonna call her quits in this practice session. Let's see if we can find some guys on the track. The other one, we do have Mr. Excitement out here in the 16, Matt Barber. Matt P2 right now, and well, why you kind of hear the inflection in my voice. That's impressive. You know, room 2 means he joined up pretty late. And with a beat up track, I mean, still P2. Watch out for Matt Barber here tonight in the 56 here of Randy Shreves. He's got some time in him as well. P4 on the overall chart. I want to just make sure I'm getting it. You know, it may be because I changed it over, but if you're watching on the Coast to Coast side, let me know. I'm getting that yellow bar that it's saying it's not smooth, but I'm not getting any warnings on my stream saying there's a problem. But the checkered flag waves. You see Adam Flieger disappear, and we get ready to go qualifying here at the Knoxville Raceway. But yeah, I do have that Coast to Coast chat up. So if you wouldn't mind, you know, just typing in there, just say fine. You know, Uncle Ron, if you're watching, I have to make you do it. Here is Adam Flieger right now is the first guy out on the racetrack. Him and Trevor in a dogfight. Who's going to get there first? Right now it is Mr. Flieger leading the way, so he's going to get the honorary first lap. Let's see what the 38 machine does. As he rolls into turn one, going to drive that center corner entry, roll the center the whole way through, does a good job of keeping it straight. Let's see if that translates here to a good lap time for the 38 machine. Right now, green, so he's having a personal best. But Trevor with a green-purple, expect him to be quick time. He is with that 17.9. 3, but not for long. Dylan Kinsey, I told you if he was out there running 9s, he had an 8 in the tank. I know a little bit about this racing thing. I necessarily can't go out there and do it, but I've learned a lot from these guys, and Dylan wasn't going to let it all hang out. Doesn't have any more left this final time around, a little slower, but doesn't need it. The 6:39 at the top of the charts. Dean Reynolds comes around, comes to a stop. He parks at P4. Kelly Wheeler. Oh, Blackjack! Blackjack John Tobias. Where did the 21 machine come from? Top of the charts, and there's the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. His first lap. P3, what can the 5:13 do? Can he find some more time? Jeff Barker, purple, sector 1. Little slower, sector 2. Jeff Barker, 17.839. That's going to put him P2. The Brewerton Beast. What a lap there for Jeff Barker, man. He will be pumped up about that. There's no doubt about that. Good lap there for the Brewerton Beast as we get ready to take a look at the starting grid for heat race number 1. Row 4 to the outside, the 051 of Putt Putt. Clay Christopherson to the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 007 of Sammy Bachman. To the inside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Row 2 to the outside, the 21 of Blackjack. Your quick time, John Tobias. To the inside, the 6:39 of Dylan Kinsey. Row 1 for heat race number 1 here at the Knoxville Raceway. To the outside, the 76 of Ryland Banks. And starting on the pole, the 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. As we forget how to be a broadcaster. Take that away. Let's get everything back up the right way here. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck going to do one more trip around. Not going to go play just yet. But we expect a good one here. And let's see here on my end. Okay. I haven't got any messages, no disappointing messages saying anything's wrong. So I'll assume in the land of streaming here, all good. Everything looks okay. YouTube doesn't like it. It's like I say, it's saying it's not getting enough video, but we'll see. It's okay. As the green flag set to wave here at the Knoxville Raceway, 8 laps for heat race number 1 as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. The Philly Flyer drops the hammer and we're underway. It's time to play. Trevor Giroux. Man, it gets bottled up there in the center, but Ryland gets a little loose coming off. And Trevor, he's got the run. He can shut the door. It's his. Meanwhile, Putt Putt working on the bottom as John Tobias. He was your fast time. He got the wall through 3 and 4. He's going to lose a bunch of spots, but the Ant-Man started 7th, up to 4th. He's your big mover. All this going on behind your pole sitter of the 75, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. Man, you got to think it's going to be tough here for the 76 of Ryland Banks to run him down. He's going to have to pull a couple good laps together. Let's ride on board. Trevor's so good through the center. He floats it up to the high side of the racetrack and really keeps the momentum under him. As meanwhile, you see Anthony Morano there on the bottom of your screen trying to reel in his teammate in third place, Dylan Kinsey, and he's all but there. Will he have enough time to make the move as we cross the stripe halfway for to play? You'd think that's plenty of time here for the 32. But what can he do here? Anthony to the bottom as he pulls even out of 4. He's got it at the line. Give P3 to the 32. Dylan Kinsey not going to put up much of a fight here. Knows, you know, maybe I'll be a little quicker at the end. Maybe I can learn something from the Ant-Man before we go feature racing, because we've only got 2 to play here as the Philly Flyer. Man, he is all but gone here at Knoxville. Anthony Morano searching for P2. Here's the white flag set to wave, 1 to play. Your leader and winner is going to be, without a big mistake, this 075. And Anthony gets the pass done here. Ryland gonna diamond back underneath, but he gets pinched off. Nowhere to go. Checkered flag wave. Trevor Giroux gets it done. Anthony Morano P2. Ryland Banks 3rd. Dylan Kinsey 4th. Kelly Wheeler 5th. Blackjack 6th. Putt Putt 7th. And Sam Bachman rounds out the field. We get ready to take a look here. Starting grid, heat race number 2. Row 4 to the outside. Todd Hietala. That's how we're going to go with that, Todd. You're more than welcome. Join this Discord up, man. You let me know how to pronounce that if I'm not doing it right. But he's rolling off on the high side of row 4 in the 46. To the inside, the 38 of Adam Flieger. Row 3 to the outside, the 444 of my homie Scott Rayomi. To the inside, the 23 of Bart William Watson. Row 2 to the high side, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. To the inside, Mr. Excitement in the 16, Matt Barber. Row 1 for your second and final heat race. Winner starts on the outside of the front row. To the high side, the 79 of Dean Reynolds, and starting on the pole, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Let's reset this overlay here for you guys. I'm not important, man. I'm spoiled. Luckily, Coast to Coast likes me. They've had me around for a long time. You know, I get used to these guys' paint schemes, so it's nice. Maybe not so much the schemes, but the numbers. And you know, one of those places makes you feel like home. All these guys, they do an excellent job putting on great racing, and we're about to see another one here as the Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off that green flag high, and she's set to fly. 8 laps to play in the clay at the Knoxville Raceway. Heat number 2 is underway. Dean Reynolds with a good start on the outside, but not enough to hold down that 56. Maybe thinking about a counter underneath as Mr. Excitement slots up into P3, trying to hold his ground. Here comes William Watson. Started 5th, hunt for 4th as the Brewerton Beast tries to set his teeth in, trying to hang on. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. William Watson with enough of a run here, going to clear it. No problem. Lock into 23 into the top 4. Oh, we got a car around. That's Scott Rayome around in the back. Couldn't tell if he got help, but he's going to finish in last. Here's the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Saul trying to use that rear end on the 56 of Randy Shreves. Let's see what it looks like for the man. Dean Reynolds got that purple machine absolutely ripping, but Randy Shreves so good center off, kind of diving in a little bit, enter a little higher, cutting in lower, whereas Dean's entering lower, sliding up to the outside, and that's maybe going to open up some room here for Mr. Excitement, Matt Barber, as he searches the basement through 1 and 2. William Watson trying to be Santa Claus, climbing in through the chimney, going upstairs. Now he cuts underneath, trying to swap roles. What can he do here? Matt Barber, he's trying to pick one up, but at the same time, he's got to defend. He's tight here at the Knoxville Raceway. William Watson driving upstairs. Gonna dust the 16 off as he moves on into P3. Matt Barber petting his hands here. What's he got to do? Trying to make moves. And now he's losing spots instead as the 56 of Randy Shreves rolls out of turn 4. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Randy Shreves, man, so good here in the late models, and he's proven it once again as he enters turn 3 for the final time. Exiting 4, checkered flag waves for the 56 of Randy Shreves. Dean Reynolds second, Mark Watson third, Mr. Excitement fourth, the Brewerton Beast fifth, Adam Flieger sixth, Todd Hightower seventh, and Scott Rayome rounds out the field here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here for warm-up. Stick around. We'll watch a little bit here of the track. And I'm going to mute myself, but we'll be hanging out. So get ready for some feature racing here at the Knoxville Raceway. Right now, Anthony Morano at the top of the practice charts. Randy Shreves, P2, as we watch him rolling around behind the 76 of Ryland Banks. Behind him, your quick time tonight, Blackjack John Tobias. We've got that C2C side up. I see that it's still giving me a little bit of stream stuff. So weird. I'm not getting anything on my end through my Streamlabs. So don't really know what to do. It just says great flow, but on my side of things, I think it's okay. So hopefully everything sticks around. We get a good show here for tonight's feature. See here as we bring up this starting lineup. One row short there, I believe. Hang on. This doesn't want to load up for me. There we go. Now I can get that bottom row. Tried to shortcut it. It didn't like it. Row 8 to the high side, the 444 of Scott Rayome to the inside, the 007 of the Sam Akonda, Sam Bachman. Row 7 to the outside, the 46 of Todd Hightower to the inside, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. Row 6 to the outside, the 38 of Adam Flieger to the inside, the 21 of Blackjack, John Tobias. Row 5 to the top shelf, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker to the inside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Row 4 to the outside, Mr. Excitement in the 16, Matt Barber to the inside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Row 3 to the outside, the 23 of Bart Watson to the inside, the 76 of Ryan Banks. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 79 of Dean Reynolds to the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 1 for your Shaggy TV Pro Late Model feature to the outside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. And as we get set to go play 30 laps at the Knoxville Raceway, the green flag's high. Boy, is she ready to fly. It's time to go as the 075 drops the hammer and we're underway. Randy Shreves trying to mount the charge. Here's the fireworks go off, but we're 3 wide behind. William Watson was sandwiched in the middle. Good drive off as he follows his FTM teammates. 4 out of the top 5 is Randy Shreves trying to work here, trying to lead that team of FTM. As that 56, you'll notice he doesn't have FTM on the race car because he's the odd man out. So he needs to get to the front here. You don't want to get bullied around, and man, there's a chance of that happening. You gotta go if you're Randy. You're not gonna get room. They're not gonna give it to you. You gotta earn it. And the Ant-Man, he's making it work on the bottom. Here's the 32. Just did it in the big block modifieds. Trying to do it once again here in the Pro Late Models. Anthony Morano working that 32 machine up into P2 as William Watson has the 23 on a mission downstairs, but can't get under the 56. But he leaves the door open one more time. William Watson trying to make it work as we see Sam Bachman, not too sure what happened to him, if maybe he missed the start, came out of the pits, or if he was maybe involved in some contact. Sammy B running around in the back, and he's looking to become lunch meat here to his teammates as we come across the stripe here. Lap 6, battle on for the lead. Anthony Morano to the front with 25 to go. Anthony Morano setting pace here early as Trevor Giroux trying to mount the horses. Trying to get it back going on the high side is Randy Shreves. Now maybe, I thought he was going to go low, but he falls in line. Likes where he was at, going to stay. Dean Reynolds running around here in P5. He's trying to work. He's got some company. That's Mr. Excitement, Matt Barber in the 16 rolling the low side. And speaking of rolling the low side, here comes the Brewerton Beast. Jeff Barker working the bottom of the racetrack. Jeff Barker, can he get it done? Just can't even pull even right now. Not enough coming off of 4. Is Adam Flieger in the middle, 3 wide. Kelly Wheeler working that 110 down low. And Trevor Giroux feeling it here for P2. Randy Shreves back downstairs, but the Philly Flyer too quick coming off of 4. He goes downstairs, tries to protect Randy Shreves now. He's going to try to cut a rug underneath. Keep clicking the wrong guys there, trying to get to Matt Barber as he's trying to make it 3 wide. Oh, Dino didn't know he was there. Comes across the nose of Mr. Excitement. And boy, he's got to get on the blinders. That was a close call. And some race move here by the 16 of Matt Barber as we ride on board. He sees 2 side-by-side battles. Dino trying to work. Randy Shreves trying to work for P2. And Anthony Morano driving off into the sunset. Here, he's got to get home before 12 o'clock. And he ain't going to have no problem doing that. The Ant-Man, he is out the road. 1.2 seconds. Plenty of time here, though. And we don't want one but a caution flag. Boy, would that change this race. But right now, pretty much single file here until we get to Scott Rayome and Blackjack John Tobias. If you don't believe me here, see for yourself. Let's actually, you'll get to kind of see the field spread. There's Anthony Morano. The rest of the boys kind of swinging in here. So you see Dino making a move. Randy Shreves. I cannot tell what happened to... Oh, he's just blinking a little bit. There he is back in third. Thought maybe he lagged out. That was a scary call there for the 56, but he's back. Everything all good. Dino now still trying to work the bottom. But here comes Mr. Excitement now trying to take that 16 to the high side. He's got fellow Canadian right behind him, Ryland Banks. Ryland maybe trying to get a twofer here if he can catch him and Dino in a battle. Would love the snooker past fellow Canadian and Super Dirt Car Series owner Dean Reynolds. Man, that'd be a good pass there. Anthony Morano, you see, coming off of 4, looking to get 13 laps to go. As we kind of click back, you can see all there. I mean, not really close enough to make a big move, but a couple guys start bumping in front of you. You're close enough to capitalize all the way back. Here to Jeff Barker. This is your top 10. Close field here tonight. And Barker trying to look low. Can't get it to stick. Had to come out of the throttle, and that allows Kelly Wheeler to kind of pull away. Now he's got to do his homework here, go right back to work if he wants to get that pass done. As Dino, speaking of getting the pass done, loses one to Mr. Excitement. Can he get it back here? Matt Barber ripping the outside here as they come to 11 to go. Save the race car, but Dylan going to lose a spot here, possibly to Kelly Wheeler. Save the race car, but Dylan going to lose a spot here, possibly to Kelly Wheeler. All this with 9 laps to go. As Anthony Morano still 1.3 seconds up the road, but it is slowly starting to shrink as we're going to click on the 075. Oh, caution flag wave! And you see 3 out of the last 5 laps, the Philly Flyer. Maybe the quickest man on the racetrack, so this may just be what Trevor Giroux needed here as we take a look. And we'll see Dylan Kinsey and Kelly Wheeler possibly the cause of our accident. We got that yellow machine, the 639 and the 110 there. Kelly Wheeler. Kelly just going to clip his apron. You can see it's going to push up the racetrack. And I don't think, that's definitely not on purpose. Gets into the side of Ryland Banks. Dylan with nowhere to go, hard into the outside wall. And boy, oh boy, definitely enough to bring out the first caution here of the night in the Shaggy TV Pro late models. And now the Philly Flyer. Man, he can go to work. This may be what he needed. Definitely not what Anthony Morano wanted, man, as you see Trevor trying to just sauce this race car up a little bit. Just get her warm, whip her side to side. See what the Ant-Man's doing. He's cool, calm, and collected. He's just keeping it straight. He just wants to hang on to this thing. Meanwhile, Trevor, he's having fun. He's flossing it there in the background. William Watson, keep an eye on him. There was a big gap up ahead. What's going on, Jake? How you doing tonight? As we get ready to come to the 1 to go. I mean, obviously your favorite and top contender this year has been the 32 of Anthony Morano, but Trevor Giroux, he's been there. He's been close enough to flirt with some of these, and I mean, Anthony definitely gonna feel the pressure from his teammate here these last couple laps. I mean, Trevor, he's It's not going to beat the door down, man, but at some point, I know, he's a positive guy, very happy-go-lucky, but at some point, finishing second to your teammate over and over again sucks. And he's going to want to go get this one as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. 7 laps will play at the Knoxville Ring. Back underway. See Anthony Morano right away down to the bottom here. Going to try to protect on this opening lap. Car really not up to speed yet, so you don't need to have that momentum built. And meanwhile, the 3 behind him are going to try to burn the wall down. They're way up top. As the caution flag flies, Scott Rayone. Looks like pretty hard contact here for the 444. We'll have to see what happened. He's got Adam Flieger to his inside right now. Run out of room. Adam maybe didn't know he was up there, just floating up corner exit. Big shot. Flieger involved. John Tobias involved. Haitala with a good job of kind of weaving his way through there in the background. Yeah, that's the 46 machine. Could have easily got suckered into that one, but good job there by the 46 of Todd. Well, we got Anthony Morano still leading the way. No surprise there, but there was kind of a surprise. He went to the bottom there on that initial lap and kind of pulled away from those guys in front of him. So, does Trevor maybe take that into account on this restart? Does he go down there and try to play this time, try to follow his teammate, or does he just do what he's comfortable with, stay on that outside? That big mover so far is Todd Haitala. Going to be up 5 spots, started 14th up to 9th. So can Todd keep the push going? A good run here for the 46. Good way to really stamp your first run. Or Todd, if you have been here, I'm sorry I don't recognize the name. I probably recognize that name, but if you have been here before, my fault. I would assume missed the first go from me. As the lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace truck, as we come back, we'll have a 5-lap shootout. Determine who's going to bring home the checkered flag as the Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off. The green flag's high. Oh, and it's ready to fly. Anthony Morano drops the hammer. We're back underway for the restart. There for the driver of the 32. Able to gap his teammate in the 075. And Matt Barber trying to make it exciting down there on the bottom, trying to cut under William Watson. As meanwhile, Dean Reynolds trying to rip that outside. Trying to get the horses up to speed. Barber goes to the top shelf now, shuts the door. Dino gonna get close. Can't get close enough to maybe rough him up, move him out of the way. Gonna hold on to P5 for now as William Watson and Randy Shreves. They get the shoulders out. They're rubbing through 3 and 4. Give it to Bart at the line. 3 laps to go. If Trevor's got anything, he's got to unleash it now. We're down to 2.5 trips around the sun. And Anthony's got it at about a half a second gap and make it more as Anthony gets a good run on the bottom through 3 and 4. They're 3 wide for third. Mr. Excitement living up to the name, trying to work his way onto the podium. Matt Barber downstairs. Can he go fishing here? Can he get one more? Dean Reynolds to the outside. He's going to snooker Mr. Excitement. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. How is the final podium spot going to shake out as we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time? Anthony Morano can see that checkered flag. Reach up and grab it, and man, because it's all good. The Philly Flyer coming on P2. William Watson completes the FTM podium. Here for Full Throttle Motorsports, Randy Shreves 4th, and Dean Reynolds making 4 of the top 5 FTM drivers there, bringing home P5. And man, Mr. Excitement, Matt Barber, he gave us one exciting finish there, but just couldn't bring it home. Just couldn't bring that top 5 home, but great run there for Matt Barber. Jeff Barker 7th, Putt 8th, Ryland Banks 9th, and Dylan Kinsey rounding out the field. But boy, another good show here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Man, these Pro Late models, they haven't disappointed all season. You know, some disappointing car counts at certain points, but all in all, man, these guys have, when they've been out there, I don't care if it's 5 of them, if it's 30 of them, they have been putting on a good show all season. And we saw another one here again tonight. As we'll give William Watson a minute or two. No, we won't. We won't give him a minute or two to catch his breath because he's already over here. He wasn't messing around. What's going on, Bart? Man, you
buddy?
You had to drive this thing tonight. It's it seemed like
Up into him, but tried to let him back by, and he didn't get on the gas, so I had to get back on it for what was that? Barber got by us.
Hey, man, when the track's starting to limit itself on where you need to be, if you leave the door open, you got to expect the guy to slide in there, and that's exactly what you did, man. You're not a racer if you don't shoot that gap, so as far as I'm concerned, maybe not the way you want to do it, William, but, man, that's something, dude, you got to do it when it's put in front of you, especially to grab that podium. But, man, how cool is that? FTM 123, man. This is definitely not the first time this season. You guys are getting pretty damn good at those.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's cool, but I've kind of gotten used to it now. So, it's the only place we do it. So, but it is pretty cool. You know, we race hard, clean. We're pretty much all right there together. Good battle once you get the whole group right there next to each other.
Well, hey, man, congratulations on a great run tonight. The car looks freaking good. You just got to put one sticker on there. You know what it is. But
supposed to be on there.
I can't find it, but I'll tell you what, man, it looks good. I'll tell you that you've always, man, even when we were back, everybody, they should know by now, but we used to be teammates, man. You always had the good fly car. You've always done a good job with these paints, and you definitely didn't disappoint tonight. But congratulations, man. I already let you do your thank yous, didn't I?
No, not yet.
No, do it. Do it now. See, I had a little too much medicine after golf.
All right, teammates at Swan Speed Shops, Dupro Performance, GripX.com, Dirt Car Series. Tyler Bowman for the wrap at Vortex Graphics. He did a good job on all 4 cars. You are actually on the sprint car, I know for sure, because I could see it when I'm driving. I just don't know why he didn't put it on here. I might get him to change it. But yeah, thank you for putting on the broadcast and Coast to Coast for Plus Race.
Well, hey, man, great run. Can't wait to call some more of these, man. You guys are a lot of fun to watch. Good job tonight.
I appreciate it, bud.
Now we're going to bring up the man who finishes P2 once again, Trevor. And I'm just going to keep saying that to you till I watch you move that teammate of yours out of the way. I'm going to keep making you feel bad about these P2s. But, man, at the end of the day, dude, that's what it's all about. Another good, solid run. And it seemed like, okay, now you probably wouldn't have caught him. And obviously stuff changes after caution, but before that first caution, man, I don't know what it looks like to you, but I jinxed you, man. I just pulled up the lap times. You were quicker. 4 out of the last 5. You were starting to reel them in. Do you think you had anything for him if you maybe tried to turn it up a little bit? It just seemed like maybe 2 at the end, though. Anthony figured something out on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Honestly, it's just if the track went to the top a little more, or maybe if it was a 50 or 60 lap race and the top ended up coming in, maybe. But I don't know. Even when the bottom, you think the bottom's not there, Anthony's the guy to make it work. So who knows? Yeah, I mean, car felt good. I felt pretty good. Kind of ran a little bit all over the place, especially after Randy was poking under me there. I tried running the bottom and just didn't feel comfortable. I don't have a ton of laps here. It's not a bad track to run, but I just probably should get a little more seat time here and I got a lot of things to work on, and like, especially restarting second. I'm just terrible at restarting second. It's just something I got to work on, and definitely will. But yeah, to come away with 2 seconds tonight, we won't talk about the 358s, but to come up with 2 seconds, um, in a FTM sweep, this is a win for me. So it's a good night, pretty good night for me, good night for the team. So I'm happy. We'll take it.
Now, obviously, man, you rewind the clock, you can see maybe where he beat you, where you were lacking a little bit. Was there any thought to maybe, because I know, we did have that second restart then, and just a quick first one, but those first 2 laps, man, on the initial restart, Anthony ran the bottom, and I mean way low before the car got up to speed and kind of gapped you guys. Did you think about doing that on the final restart, or were you just committed to that top shelf?
Honestly, I did think about it a little bit. I don't remember how much of a gap I had on Shreves, but that would have been one of those things. Like if I would have went down there, I probably I would have had to have had a good gap on the guy behind me, just in case I mess up or it's not the correct line or it just wasn't fast, and that way I just know I'm not gonna give up a position, right? But I mean, I thought about it, but at the end of the day, I kind of just put my car where I feel comfortable, and that was on the top. So especially here, I mean, me and Anthony the last season or a couple seasons ago had a absolutely wild finish here. And I was just ripping the lip. It didn't really didn't the track didn't slick off as much here than it did last season here. But yeah, like I said, just hoping that top came in, man. Like I said, just putting that car where it feels comfortable, and and it wasn't maybe not the fastest, but hung on for second, so it was all right.
Well, hey, man, at the end of the day, you said it yourself. FTM 123, that's what it's all about. And you're sandwiched right in the middle. So, hell of a run, Trevor. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
First and foremost, want to give a shout out to Anthony and Bart there. I mean, like you said, FTM 123 here is pretty cool. That's a win for me, man. It's pretty cool to sweep some podiums with these boys, and obviously it's a great group of guys. So shout out to those guys. Shout out Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series. I love that guy. He's such a good guy. Obviously been on the rides for a while. So shout out Dean, man. Expert installation.
I finally get to go to one of those races next week, Trevor. I'm going to meet Dean Tuesday and Wednesday for the first time. First ever. All right. So, in all seriousness, I hate to keep you up here longer, okay? But I know you've been to a couple of the races, haven't you?
Not Super Dirt Car Series, no.
Okay, well then never mind. You're the worst person to ask. I thought you went with Isaac. So never mind. But
I wish.
Well, yeah, you get your butt out of here, or you continue your thank yous because I interrupted you. I'm rude.
No, man. When you see Dean, give that man a big ol' hug for me and tell him it's from me. But
I'm telling you, he better expect one. Like if he doesn't, he better. I am a hugger, dude. He better expect one. I mean it, like, because I'm gonna recognize him. I mean, let's be honest. I'm 280 pounds. I'm gonna be recognized. But if I recognize Dino before he sees me, I'm gonna hug him.
I wouldn't expect anything less. But yeah, like I said, just Dean, man. Dean runs the Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, JRB Designs, all the guys at FTM, everyone on this ride, Shaggy TV, you Shaggy for putting this stuff on for us. We appreciate it, man. And yeah, that's it. Everyone at C2C for putting this stuff on. I think next week's last week, so looking forward to closing out the season here and getting some more seat time in and get freshened up for a new season.
Well, hey, man, good run. Can't wait to talk to you again. Congratulations on another good one, Trev.
Thanks, Shaggy. Appreciate you.
Garrick's bringing home P2. I had to do it one more time. Hang on.
Quick time!
I finally timed it. I'm always talking during that thing. I finally timed it. Anthony, man, this was another one where I forget who says that. Gosh dang it. I wish I could remember who tells me that in the midgets, but they just say, if you're going to leave the bottom up, I think Jack Hitt uses it. If you're going to leave that bottom in, I'm going to take it. And dude, I mean, you live by that same motto. They went to the top shelf and you do your own thing on the bottom. And then through the middle stages of the race, you kind of just take it easy, it seemed like, run the middle because, man, that final restart, you kicked it into another gear and drove off again. How happy are you, man?
Pretty happy. I had a rough night in the qualifying department. 358s, I qualified. I had to start like fifth or seventh in my heat race in the 358 and had to work my way forward. And it was just a long night in the qualifying department. But I mean, big shout out John Tobias, quick time in the Pro late models. That was impressive. But yeah, it was just
Expected, but then you got a taste of what you have to go through, and you said, I mean, bad qualifying effort, dude. You had to work your way through the heat races. How much harder is it to pass in a heat race than out here come feature time? Because the track's a lot fresher. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. The track's a lot more narrow come during the heat races, so it's a lot harder to move around and pick up spots. I got lucky that there was some contact in front of me and passed 3 cars, and then I just worked on. I want to say Matt Barber there. I'm not sure. I don't remember who else was in there, and just got up to where I needed to get, and got up to second. So had a pretty good starting spot there in the feature, and just hit my marks and got around Randy, then cleared out on Trevor there, and was able to make it stick and just keep hitting my marks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's not necessarily one trick. A lot of it's seat time, but man, how we saw so many guys dive into 3 turn 1 tonight and just clip that berm. But how are you able to get so close to it, man, and not let it mess up your day? Because we know you get that thing, man, it upsets the race car. You start pushing up the hill, and man, you can lose time real quick.
I don't, we were actually talking about it tonight in Discord. It's like going into turn 3, that bottom was real treacherous because it was hard to see, just all blended in. And I know a few different people I've talked to about it. When we come here, say the same thing. It's like turn 3, you can get so close and be so much faster, or you just be a little too close and you lose a second a lap. So it was just so close, especially with the late model sitting on the left side of the car instead of the center. It just really throws you off when you're so used to not running them and you're used to sitting in the center of the car and everything you run, and all of a sudden you're just off. So it was a bit tricky there. I was starting to really enter 3 later and later, trying to get the car to rotate through the slick so I'd be able to drive out straight through the tack at the end there. It was really digging pretty good. So yeah, but yeah, I got the berm a few times, especially in the modified tonight, but I think I only got it once or twice in the late model, so it wasn't too bad.
Well, Anthony, I'm gonna make this interview selfish about me for a second, okay? I tried to with Trevor, but it failed. I know, you've been teammates with Dino for a long time. Have you ever been to one of the Super Dirt Car Series races?
I've been to a ton of Super Dirt Car Series races,
Okay,
but I've never
all right.
actually met Dino.
Okay, that's fine. Dino will remain a mystery. We don't need to know about him. But dude, I have never ever in my life seen a small block or a big block out there on the racetrack in person. Dude, when I go watch them race Tuesday and Wednesday, what do I expect, man? Is it like is it single file? Are we gonna get a lot of side by side? I mean, how do those things race?
It really depends on the track surface. Early like in the heat race and stuff, you'll see those left fronts really hiked up. But how the late models used to be back in the day, they used to just crank up on the right rear and just haul the mail around. You'll see a lot of that with the torsion cars nowadays, even some with the coils. But it should be pretty good. Where are you going? I don't even know where they're at this week.
They're at Big Diamond Tuesday and then Sealands Grove Wednesday. So yeah, I'm like literally, man. I'm an hour and 29 minutes on the GPS from both racetracks, opposite directions.
Have you ever been to Big Diamond?
No, I've never been to either racetrack. To be honest with you, it's my first time going to either.
Big Diamond's a cool track, man. It's like down inside of an old coal mine. Like you walk down into the track. It's pretty cool. Tight track, decent amount of banking. They'll get up on the wheel there. It's a good track to go to.
Yeah, I'm definitely. You got me pumped up, dude. Like I say, I've never been there, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. But sorry to steal some of that shine from you, Anthony. But I just wanted a little bit of information, man. But Congratulations.
Yeah, they
dude.
usually run a 358s there every Friday night, but Super Dirt Car run the big blocks, so it should be a good show. I think I've seen big blocks there once, but that's about it.
I'm now see this shows like how little I know about the series. Who is the guy who's going for race win 100? Obviously he's good. I can't think of his name. It's oh man. Gosh darn it. Marty messaged me. Don't even worry about it. But there's some guy, I think it's the blue and yellow car. He wins a lot.
It's gonna be Matt Shepard then.
Yeah, okay, that
Matt
sounds
Shepard's
right.
probably going for 100.
Yeah, supposedly he's going for 100.
9S.
Yeah, that'll be a pretty cool one to see.
That's Isaac Salas's buddy there. I know Isaac's a big fan of his. So is Kinsey.
Yeah, maybe Dylan's up here in PA, isn't he?
Dylan's in New York.
Oh, okay, close enough. We'll make him
PA.
drive now.
PA. You'll have Brewers in PA, Logan's in PA.
See, that's where you got to put the word out. You got to get them to go to the racetrack now.
Who knows? They might show up. I know Logan's like an hour and a half from there.
He'll have to leave early like me. But hey, Anthony, I won't drag this out anymore, man. Congratulations on a big run, dude. Before we kick you out of here, who you want to thank?
I gotta thank my wife Sherry, the boys over there at FTM, Dean at Super Air Car, Swan Speed Shop, Hi Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Expert Installation, Castle Raid Flagstone, Shaggy TV, Shaggy for sponsoring and broadcasting this division. Pretty good turnout tonight, man. We had, I think, 15 or 16.
16.
So
yeah, dude.
probably I think that might have been the highest we had for the season so far. So.
And realistically, one caution because the other one, cautions breed cautions. But there's a good long green flag run. It was a heck of a show.
Yeah, I'm definitely be going back and watching it, see how everything went down. So, yeah, I mean, it seemed like a good race. I know there's a lot of chirping going on about passing and stuff like that. A lot of guys are having fun, but yeah, just you for doing everything you're doing for the division. Hopefully, we can get this doing something a bit more. I was talking to Barker about maybe changing some things with this for next season. We'll see. And then you have Jeff and Spangler and Bob DeGood and Bill Calder, that everything they're doing behind the scenes, and Jack Hitt, everything they're doing for the league here to keep it going. I know coming up to the tricky part of the season of the year here with the fall coming up and everyone's busy with real life stuff. So hopefully we can get everything figured out and keep the league going strong.
Yeah, man, looking forward to it. Definitely lots of good racing yet to come. And, man, you had a good one tonight. Can't wait for you to maybe lock up that championship next week. Good luck, man.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Anthony Morano bringing home the win here to close out the Shaggy TV Pro Late Models. And it was a good night of racing here, really, Anthony. Well, he won the big block, too. I don't know if he won the small block. But, man, going 2 for 2 here to close out, that's a heck of a run. So congratulations to him and FTM for stealing the show here at the end of the night. But that is going to do it. We are going to close out here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Thank you for tuning in. And a huge shout out to everyone who keeps this thing going behind the scenes. I'm Zach Chapman saying so long. Have a good night.